Hey, how about it, race fans? Richard Allen of motorsportsreport.net coming at you with a Rich's Rambling. And today I was going to focus on a topic that me and my two sons, Cody Allen and Austin Allen, something that we talk about. I really enjoy not only going to the races with them, but also our drives to and from. We have a lot of interesting conversations, many of them about racing and some of them about other things too. But this one, the topic I'm going to get on is how much does the driver matter when it comes to racing? And I've, over the past couple of years or 3 years, so whether it be dirt late model racing, NASCAR, whatever form of motorsports you want to talk about, the driver plays a critical role, obviously, in the success of the team. Now, that said, racing is a team sport. There's no question about it. Greatest driver in the world's not going to do well in a bad car, at least not consistently. But the greatest car in the world's not going to do well without a good driver either. So how much does that driver actually matter? And as I've said before in other ones of these pieces that I've put out, I'm a voter in the Dirt on Dirt Top 25 poll. And whenever I go to cast my vote, the top 6, 8, maybe 10, it's the same guys over and over again. And part of the reason is because they're, if not the most talented drivers, they're certainly right up there and in all the country. But not only that, they're with great teams too. So, to take that all into consideration, how much does the driver matter? Well, as we were coming home from the North-South 100 back a few weeks ago, Bobby Pierce had won that race, started, I believe it was 14th, 15th, 16th, somewhere, basically mid-pack, and had driven up through, and by the second half of the race got to the lead, then, was able to hold on and win. And one of my sons asked, is he really that much better of a driver? Well, I don't know necessarily I'd use the term better than, say, a Jonathan Davenport or Ricky Thornton Jr. Or something like that, but he's certainly incredibly talented. And that makes a difference, especially in a time, if you go down the roster before any, particularly the big races, you go down the roster, everybody's driving the same car. Everybody's got a Longhorn or a Rocket. Usually, I mean, there's a couple of others that get in there as well, but it's vast majority are Longhorns with several Rockets mixed in, and then a couple of others maybe. And their engines are coming from basically the same places. It's a Vic Hill engine, a Cornette engine, a Clements engine, largely all coming from those same sources. So everybody's really driving the same car. They got massive amounts of horsepower. Everybody knows how to set one of these things up, that's in the pit area. So, of course, the driver's making a big difference. And to further take that out into the NASCAR realm or into other realms, sprint cars and that sort of thing, Kyle Larson is an immensely talented driver. I don't think anybody would deny that. Anybody would try to argue a point otherwise. He's an immensely talented driver. He's going to win a lot of races no matter what form of the sport he's in. But look at the times, look at who his crew chiefs are in each of those. It's not an accident. It's not a coincidence that Larson picks well when it comes to who he's going to drive for, because he knows that he is a major piece of that equation. But the crew in the car, of course, are too. I mean, Cliff Daniels, his NASCAR crew chief, one of the best, incredibly intelligent. You just listen to the radio transmissions that go on during the race, and you can tell, Cliff Daniels is as sharp as they come. And when Larson drives a sprint car, many out there, when you mention the top crew chiefs in sprint car racing, Paul Silva's name always comes, near the top of the list. So Larson drives for one of the better sprint car crew chiefs. And look at the times when he drove dirt late models, which hopefully he'll someday come back to those. But he was working with Kevin Rumley, who's acknowledged to be one of the very, very best to ever do it in dirt late model racing. So, Yes, Larson's a major part of the equation because you can take other drivers and put in those same cars and they might not have the same level of success that he does. And you could say the same thing about, say, Bobby Pierce or Jonathan Davenport's car, Ricky Thornton Jr.'s car, Devin Moran's car. You put another driver in there and they're probably not going to do as well as those guys because they're just really talented and they're experienced. They know how to handle the big situations, the big moments, like in the World 100, the Dirt Late Model Dream, the North South 100. They've been in those big moments and they know how to handle it. So that's a major part of it too. But getting back to the question, how important is the driver? Driver's hugely important. Hugely important. If again, with everybody in largely equal equipment, especially in NASCAR, they're all driving the same car, pretty much in NASCAR. So it's the top guys are going to come to they're going to be the cream of the crop. They're going to come up to the top of the list every time. And the same thing's true in dirt late models. Sprint cars don't put as much emphasis on chassis as dirt late model teams do. But again, it's, there's a lot of similarity, a lot of sameness in that where, it's going to be the better driver because, they're all in the same car and you put everybody in the same car, the better drivers are going to come to the top as well. So the driver not only just matters, the driver matters, I would say, the most. If you had to break it down into some kind of percentage, I would say the driver's 60% of the equation when it comes to having success. And maybe we could say 60% of the equation when it comes to failing too. So that may be as much a part of the deal because not only does a great driver get out there and turn the steering wheel and push the gas and the brake pedal, they do much more than that. They have to offer feedback to the crew and tell the crew, here's what the car is doing. And then the crew takes it from there and decides, okay, here's what we're going to do with the shocks, the springs, the tires, whatever else needs to be done. So, but I would say the driver is probably 60% of the equation, and that's not to diminish what the crews do at all. The crews are immensely important as well, just like the driver. But again, you take a bad car and a great driver, and you're not going to get consistent results. You take a bad driver and a great car, and you're not going to get consistently good results. You got to have both. But in my opinion, the driver matters the most. So anyway, that's just my opinion. Of course, you have the right to have yours. Maybe you have a different view. You might be a crew member who might be watching and say, hey, wait a minute, I think maybe I play a bigger role than the guy sitting in the seat does, or play at least as big a role as he does. And that may very well be true. And again, I've never driven a race car. I've never worked on a race car. So I can't really speak from that perspective. But again, getting back to our question, our drive home from the North-South 100, the driver matters. The driver makes a big difference. It's why you always see Bobby Pierce, Jonathan Davenport, Ricky Thornton Jr., Devin Moran, Hudson O'Neal. It's why you always see those guys at the top because they make the difference. Yes, they're with good teams, but they are incredibly talented and they're able to feed back information to those good teams that's going to make a difference. So that's my opinion. This is Richard Allen of motorsportsreport.net, and until next time, I'll see you at the track.